Okay, that, if everything has gone correctly, we are live and we are good. Okay, let me know you're out there. I am working Facebook and Twitch at the same time for the first time. So I'm hoping everything is running smoothly. Like I said, if you're out there, the chat is open, so I am able to field questions while I'm working. First off, since I'm running Twitch to the first time, let's introduce ourselves. My name is Don Higgins. I am a freelance illustrator. I work with FASA Games. I am their art director, or one of their art directors. I work primarily with 1879, but I do work with Earth Dawn as well. I am their person for the webcomics, Hey Penny Pie, and Champions Challenge. Hey Penny Pie plays in the sandbox of their 1879 game, and Champions Challenge plays in the Earth Dawn venue. If you were part of FredoniaCon and participated in that a couple weeks back, I did some work during that event. Did some live streams. They've asked me to incorporate the process here and do this weekly for content for their Twitch TV program. So I am, for the first time, like I said, trying to put this all together in one place. As I said before, I am doing a lot of stuff for their webcomics and some other projects, but the webcomics are also graphic novels. Volume 2 is on both comics are for the graphic novel version are being worked on right now. You might see some stuff in the background there over my shoulder here, stuff that I'm doing. But let's see. What do I do here? I get to play games online. So what I'm doing is talking about illustration, talking about my process, talking about how I start a piece. Mainly in that most of the time when I'm talking to artists who are starting out, it's, well, I'm drawing one drawing, and I draw the drawing, and that's it. And a lot of the students I've dealt with in the past, they don't really comprehend that it's up to like 50 drawings can be part of doing one drawing. One line on a page isn't necessarily the right line. It's a guideline, but it's not the final line. So there's a lot of extra that goes into putting this all together, and that's what weekly I show is. I do a quick sketch, whatever is floating my boat that day in my mind. I don't necessarily have anything preconceived. Sometimes I do, but today I'm just kind of winging it. What do I do when I'm winging it and I don't have anything clear cut in my head? Well, let's see. Let me switch things here, and we can do my there's my page. Now you can see where I'm working from. I've set up a background, and this is what on Photoshop I'm going to be working with, and I'm going to use my digital pencils on the Cintiq Pro 24, and I'm going to play some games. So let me know. As I say, I'm keeping an eye on the chat to see if anybody is trying to reach out and ask a question. I will do my best to answer those questions while I work. So first things first. Got my pencil, got my layers, got everything all set up. So what I'm going to do first is I'm just going to start with the egg. The egg is the head. And again, nice basic shape. And okay, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to go, let me check on something here. All right. All right. Here's the basic setup of the head. Got a figure, or a head, he's kind of got a down angle on his face. He's looking just slightly to my left, his right. And let's see here. See if I can get everything to balance out here. This guy's having a little fun. He's kind of mischievous, I think. Which is hard to tell because with that down angle of the eyebrows, anyone would think he's being not quite he's looking angry. That down angle here and here usually means angry. But I'm going to do some things here that's going to change that perspective, that emotion. Set up my cheekbones here. Now see how all these lines, extra lines, are, like I said, my guidelines. Those are, I keep telling when I'm working with kids and different artists, guidelines are not written in stone. Just because you put a line down doesn't necessarily mean that's the one you're going to run through. It gives you a little meat to work with. When I was, and I've said this before, when I was a couple of years back, feeling a little off on my artwork, my art director, my fiance, for a recharge decided, hey, let's take him to the Boston Museum of Fine Art. I'm in New Hampshire, by the way. So we went to the Boston Museum of Fine Art to kind of recharge my artistic batteries, as it were. And when I was there, I, just by chance, was able to catch the big exhibition that was there at the time, which was, I'm going to move that eye over, and that's great about this here in this program, is that I can move that over just slightly. There we go. I like that. Much better. So, I was able to catch the Da Vinci exhibition that was there at the time. And what I was able to catch in this Da Vinci exhibition is the fact that he had lots of extra guidelines on his sketches. And I decided right there and then, if guidelines are good enough for Da Vinci, they're good enough for me, and therefore good enough for all my students who struggle to try and hide everything. Don't worry about it. The guidelines. Don't get so wrapped up in your guidelines that and trying to hide them that you destroy what could have been a happy accident. So got some stuff there. And some stuff there. Give him some meat on his cheek. There we go, like that. Up that angle just a hair. Give him a bit of whimsy there. And we're gonna take this out like that. This out like that. Gonna give him some meat on here, and that's where his hair is going to be. Alright, I like that. But now, I'm going to go to another piece of information. And we're going to do that. And this is going to have this kind of information. Oh yeah. Have his hat do this, and another part of his hat come around like this. I am really liking how this came together. And that's a nice idea. For this character. And there's my rough layout. He's going to have this information, that information. There we go. Now see, all those rough lines. Now I'm going to switch to a different layer. And I'm going to up my opacity. And I'm going to thicken my brush here. And I think I'm in a good position to actually start hitting some of this stuff hard. Because I want to have this guy mapped out before the end of the session. My sessions usually go for about an hour and a half. I'm going to go back to the first layer, and I'm going to change it down so that I don't get mixed up. That's the nice base drawing. But we're going to go back up here. All right, that's good. Now again, I'm using my Cintiq Pro 24. And I'm going to go back to something here. Yeah, I like him. Okay. I'm just doing a nice study. Work on my shading. Okay. Check on something here. I've covered over my... Alright, I've just got word from my technical person out there that everything's looking good. So I know everything's running alright, which is helpful. Alright. My shading style is a lot like cross-hatching, so if you're wondering why I'm doing all these different lines on here, that would be why. Alright. Alright. Again, if you've got any questions out there, let me know. Hopefully everything is running alright. Facebook lets me know that I'm up and running, so I know that's out there. Working on my dark toned areas so that I can come back later and hit some white highlights on this. And that's really going to make a lot of this jump. Yeah. guy. Oh, yeah. This guy's got something to him. I don't know. Shading here. See how I'm following my guidelines, but not really verbatim? I mean, just because I drew a line there doesn't mean that's the one that's going to end up being the be all and end all. I mean, this is a work in progress, and this is a nice idea for a character. I wonder if there's anybody out there who thinks this guy would be good for their D&D character. And if they could come up with a name for him, what would his name be? Give me a history on this guy. There's more to this guy, like I said, than meets the eye. And a great way to set up that I'm doing something different. For example, I mean, there's the grain of the hair of his eyebrow. It's going out that way. So when I come back with the shading for his forehead and such, I try and do the grain of the shading in a different direction. That lets people know this is something different. This is not the same as his eyebrow hair. Little tricks to show you or to draw things so that they're a little bit more interesting. A little bit more than just simple shades. You just can't sit there and fill an area with a pencil. You have to give it some thought. You have to give it a little bit more than just, oh, that's good. That's good enough. Don't say that. Don't ever say that with a drawing. You may have run out of time, but don't ever say that's good enough and leave a drawing alone. That's a bad habit to get into, and I'm guilty of it myself. So don't ever let yourself off with that. Second you say, oh, that's good enough, somebody's going to catch it. It's wrong and you know it. Oh, no one's going to see it. Yes, they will. Don't fall down that trick. Don't fall down that trap. It will come back and bite you in the butt later on. So be vigilant. If you know it's wrong, fix it. Many's the time I've been stuck. Well, why did you leave it like that? I didn't think anybody'd see it. Oh, too late. And now it's seen and it's all out into the world. So don't go down that road. Don't let yourself go down that road. My mother, who was my first art director, would look at a drawing that I'm working on, tell me something's wrong, and say, okay, that's number one. And then she'd come back, and if I hadn't fixed it, she would look at it again and go, okay, it's still wrong, number two. And if she came back and I still hadn't fixed it, that was strike three. And she'd reach out, pull it off my drawing table, and rip it up. Now you can start over. That was very hard to deal with at the time, but I understand why she did it now. Never get complacent. Never let yourself accept what you know is wrong as, oh, that's good enough. She was not an artist, and if she could tell it was wrong, then you really needed to go back and fix it. That was her whole attitude on the situation. So, eventually I learned. If she said something was wrong, I looked at it long and hard. And we didn't have to start over again. Okay. Right. Some things I'm trying to make sure I hit here. Got a nice little look he's got going here. This right. Hit that and that. There we go. I like that. I like it. Come around like this. Oops, don't want to do that. This is going to come down this way. Come over your shoulder like that. Awesome. He's really got this kind of bardish look to him, I think. Getting a little parched here. So, his ear is hidden. Keep his jawline there. There's that. And that. And that. It's going to do that. Yeah. I'm going to do his chin a little bit lower still. And there we go. Oh yeah. Remember, this is just the dark stuff. I'm going to be coming back later and hitting some light stuff. All right. I'm going to get the guidelines. Go bye-bye. Look at him. All my guidelines are gone. I'm going to work on my shading here. There we go. here. Here's where I'm going to put his scraggly mustache. And I'm not trying to draw every hair. That's another thing, one of my pet peeves. Sometimes it's not what you put in, but what you leave out that's important, specifically if you're working on hair. You don't need to draw every follicle. Yeah, I can draw a few and get the idea in, but you don't need to draw every last follicle of hair, because then you'll be there for a month of Sundays and it won't even look right at the end. It won't be right. It's unnecessary overkill. The eye can't possibly take all that information in. So, sometimes it's better to just leave it off. I mean, you see that this is a scraggly mustache. Did I need to draw every last follicle? Nope. Gonna hit something here, get rid of some of this stuff. So far, no questions. Hopefully in the future that'll change and I'll get some people chiming in when I do these things to let me know that they're out there, that they're interested. What I'm doing is something they're excited to see weekly to weekly. Following the grain of my muscle tone here for the shadowing and shading. I gotta say, I've been doing this mostly on Facebook for about a year now. And I have been having an absolute ball doing it. I hope people are enjoying watching me put this stuff into process and how I get from A to B to C to D. I'm hoping that young artists are watching and picking up a tip or two along the way. I am by no means the be-all and end-all of drawing, but I enjoy what I do, and I hope that comes through. That in the long run, it's all about enjoying yourself. I do this because I love it. If I couldn't draw, you might as well just cut my right hand off. I'd be lost. Wouldn't know what to do with myself. So I'm very excited that I've got the time, the patience. That's a lot of what this is, time and patience. going over the same area, getting it the right expression. Getting it the right emotion. Oh yeah. This year, with what's been going on, I have managed to get myself this Cintiq Pro 24. And before this, all my digital work had been only to colorize on the iPad Pro. I would do all my drawings by hand. And then colorize them on the iPad Pro. Now, like I said, I've managed to get myself this piece of software here and equipment. And because of that, my work has come leaps and bounds digitally. And I love what I'm doing. I fought digital for I don't know how long. And here I am doing a pencil drawing. Quick sketch, mind you, but pencil drawing. In this light, in this area, in this arena. And it's not bad. I didn't think I'd ever be able to do it. I've tried it on a friend's piece of equipment before, and it just didn't come out right. But here I am doing this. And it's not bad. And I've got all kinds of time to fix stuff. To get it the way I want it. Darken some things up that need darkening. I can tell you, if my father could see me now. My father was a wood carver. And that's what he did for fun. He was a process engineer for Delco Products back in Ohio. And he started wood carving for fun, and as a result started to connect with me artistically. I mean, he loved the wildlife I did, but then in 77 Star Wars came out and kind of killed that. But the stuff I'm doing now, he would be very proud of me, I think. For years it was, you'll never make a living drawing monsters. You'll never make a living drawing monsters. No, this guy's not a monster, but he's got a wild streak in him, I can tell you right now. Thicken that up. Anyway, my father had such high hopes for me. And when Star Wars came out and my whole existence was aliens and monsters, he got really disheartened with me. And here I am working for a gaming company, and it's been years coming, but I finally feel like I made it. I wish he was alive to see it. That I'm actually making it as an artist, drawing fantasy. He wanted me to go into drawing baseball cards, which I did for a while, and sports, and product illustration, and draftsmanship, and all that. And I tried. I really tried, but no. Now, there are times that I will sneak in an animal or two in one of my fantasy things, and every time I do sneak an animal in, that's for my father. It really is. It's for my father. So if you see work of mine in the future and there's an animal hidden in it, that's to let my father know I still care. Like I said, he was very important to me growing up. Come on, give me the right brush size. There we go. Alright, now what I'm going to do is I'm going to fill in my bard's headpiece. Bring that down to here. So it's underneath, and I'm going to pick chalk. Bring the opacity down. Now that. Right. Now, why did I change my tool? Different textures. I didn't want it to be the same texture as what I used to draw in the skin. Why? Because it would look too close to it. I'm trying to set up something that's a little bit more depth, a little bit more realistic, I suppose would be the best term. Now, like I said, remember, I'm going to be coming back here in a couple minutes with a different brush, different tool. Just so it had a different feel to it. He is really looking sharp. I am really liking this guy. And we're going to hit these things. Oops. I don't know if this guy's an old bard or not. But he's seen some winters. He has seen some winters. Alright, I'm going to switch my thing here so that I can do this. That. this out. Smooth this area out here. Darken some of this stuff in here out. We're almost to the point where I want to start hitting the white highlights. No questions yet, so can appreciate where we're going on this, I suppose. And we're going to hit like that. And I'm not trying to get into a lot of heavy detail on the cloth here and the shading of this. I want the focus to be on his face, so this is really kind of loose here. I mean, it's enough that you can see where I was trying to go, but I don't want it to be the focus. So I'm smacking some of these things around. Gonna hit this with an eraser. Clean up some of my edges here. And then we're gonna hit the soft pastel. And we're going to, yeah, let's do this. And that. How is that looking, guys? What are your thoughts? Alright, now I'm going to go back to this layer and I'm going to hit that. Alright. Clean some stuff up here. Some of the things I'm going to hit here is I'm going to give him some stubble. put in on this guy, the more I like him. There is some definite fun to this guy. I think now is when I'm going to try and hit some of the highlights. Let's change things up a bit, shall we? All right. I'm liking these wisps of white in his eyebrow. Remember, I'm going to come back and hit a lot of this stuff with white to make some things pop. Then I'm going to come back with another layer of black, tone it down. Oh, yeah. This is going to definitely be one of those ones that I'm interested to see somebody putting a history together on this guy. Giving me some kind of a idea of what's up with this guy's winters. What's he seen in his day? Alright, let's go back to this. We're going to hit that with that. And some of this is going to get some of that. A little bit of attention here and there. Now we're going to go back up to this. There we go. Yeah. Okay. I'm liking this guy so much. Now I'm going to hit some of these areas with a texture. That helps. Just to give it a bit of a nudge. And now I'm going to hit some of those areas with some white. Bring the opacity down. Back to that. Okay. Nope. Let's do that. Very interesting. Now I'm going to go back to this. And we're going to hit some of those again. A little bit more here. There we go. Like that. And then we're going to go back to here. We're going to add another layer to get that background in. One. There we go. Hit OK. And let's see. Nope. Nope. You know what? No. What have I got here? Now that's what I'm going to do here. Don't lose heart. Why would you fill that in like that, Don? Why would you do that? Don't lose faith. Now we're going to hit that, and we're going to go to that. No, we're not going to do that. We're going to do that. And we're going to go down to Okay, now what we're going to do is going to go back to this layer. And we're going to hit the magic wand. And then we're going to go select inverse. And then go back to this layer and hit delete. Boom. Isn't that interesting? This guy is cool. Couple things I want to hit here. Okay, and now I'm liking this a lot. One more thing that I'm going to do here is I'm going to hit some things here. Up. And there, I think this gentleman is. This guy's got a history. I don't know what it is, but he has definitely got a history, and I'm interested to hear what people have to say about that. For now, and save it. Save on the computer. And save this guy. Alright. Desktop saved. He is saved. Oh, almost. Okay, ladies and gentlemen, there he is. Starting with nothing. Playing around. This is how the process works. You've seen me go from nothing to this. Now imagine what I can do if somebody gave me some information. Draw this. Draw that. Can you draw this guy if he had this? Can you draw this woman if she had that? This is just playing in my head, guys. So, like I said, doesn't take a lot. So, those of you who have been here many times before know how I like to finish things off. There's a lot going on in the world, guys. So, let me finish things off before the sun comes in and kills everything here. Wow, look at that sunbeam. Guys, be kind to each other. Be patient with each other. And remember, draw what you see, not what you know. And me? I see dragons. Why don't you? Have a good day, guys. I'll see you next week. Bye-bye.